to present to you Positive and Progressive Immortality.
Jai Ho.
This book has a very special meaning for me. It was published by Srila Bhakti. It was written, composed by Srila Bhakti Rakshira Maharaj. And when he showed it to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he liked it so much that he asked his sister to print it.
Oh.
Prabhupada's sister paid for the first printing of this book.
Achha.
And then Srila Prabhupada used to have a personal copy. And in his personal copy, which Nishinga Maharaj obtained, it says, Avai Charande. Then it says, Bhakti Siddhanta Das. Abhay Charan Bhakti Siddhanta. Because he was given first the name Bhakti Siddhanta. But then, yes, but then his godbrother said it was nicer if he didn't have the same name of his guru. So they changed it to Bhakti Vedanta. So here it is Abhay Charande, Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vedanta Das, and finally Bhakti Vedanta Swami, when he took sannyas.
Okay.
So Prabhupada kept this book with him all the time. It was one of his main preaching inspirations. And this is a reprint recently made from the Chaitanya Saraswat Math. So I have also translated this book to Spanish. It's printed in Spanish.
Achha.
Yes. But I didn't have a personal copy in English with me now. So now we will go through it. We see here the content is Prelude to Approaching Nectar.
And you translated this?
Yes.
Achha.
Yes. Me means I got somebody to do it. My Spanish is not good enough.
Okay.
The nectar of scriptural word. Then, chapter 3, words of nectar from the devotees, accepting the favorable. Then, chapter 4, words of nectar from the devotees, rejecting the unfavorable. Chapter 5, words of nectar from the devotees, full confidence in the Lord's protection. Chapter 6, words of nectar from the devotees, embracing the Lord's guardianship. Chapter 7, words of nectar from devotees, full self-surrender. Chapter 8, words of nectar from the devotees, surrender in humility. Chapter 9, words of nectar from the Supreme Lord. Chapter 10, divine remnants of nectar. Then there is also selected gems, Sri Sri Prabhupada Padastavakam, then Srimad Bhakti Vinod Viraha Dashakam, Sri Srimad Gora Kishora Namaskara Dashakam, Sri Sri Daita Das Dashakam, Srimad Rupa Pada Raja Prarthana Dashakam, and Sri Daita Dasa Pranati Panchakam. So these are like some special nectar compilations which Srila Bhakti Rakshira Maharaj made, which were also included in this book. So this is a book of a very long tradition. It is signed here, Sri Nishingananda Brahmachari, a Vaishnava servant. I don't know who is that Nishingananda Brahmachari. I don't know. It may be by Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj. His name was Nishingananda, but I don't think so. I don't think so. That would have to be investigated. Who was that? Then I wanted to present to you something special nectar I found today as I was reading here in This is a little excerpt from Sri Nityananda Das Prema Vilas, Pastimes of Love. There's something here. He is reporting about the disciples of Srinivasacharya. It says, Srinivasacharya also initiated both of his own wives. Very interesting, no? So, that it was very, Grihastha Guru was very established. With them, he had 3 sons and 3 daughters, and all of them accepted initiation from him. Srinivasa's children were named Vrindavan Das, Radha Krishna Acharya, Govinda Gati, Hemalata, Krishna Priya, and Kanchana Latika.
Well, you read these ones in the class.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Innumerable sub-branches have come from these sons and daughters. This made me very much aware that Krishna consciousness is innumerable sub-branches and branches. Nobody knows where the devotees or the devotees of the devotees of the devotees, because it has really gone far spreading. And so then, and I know that Hemalata Thakurani, she became a leader of the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha. That is mentioned in some literature where I'm not aware of right now. So just wanted to bring that to your attention, that our Sampradaya is from the very beginning a very, very a heart-to-heart Sampradaya. And it is spread on a family level, community level, or in case of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, international level. There's no hard and fast rule. Narottam Das Thakur preached in Manipur and practically conquered the kings of Manipur. They all became devotees, and all the citizens also. So there's no hard and fast rule. Shyamananda Prabhu, he focused more on the Orissa area. Narottam Das Thakur focused very much on the Cheturi Gram area, which is now Bangladesh. So here, publisher's note we also have. So we will go right into it. There's a forward. Prapana Jivanamrita means undying or nectar. Jivana means life, positive immortality. This is very much a style of Srila Bhakti Srila Maharaj. If you get accustomed to read Srila Maharaj, you will find a certain nectar style which is very intense and very loving and very poetic. It is committing. When you read, you feel commitment. But now I will start right from it as we go in it. The prelude to approaching nectar. Upakramamritam. You know, Srila Maharaj worked on this book a long time. This is not, it didn't come together just like 1, 2, 3. These are the shlokas which he memorized and also utilized for preaching Krishna consciousness in his preaching career. And these are the verses Prabhupada memorized for his preaching. Practically you can say, because Prabhupada had this book, this very book always with him for years and years and years. Our Prabhupada was reading this book. So I saw it today and immediately said, I take one, because I have it somewhere in my libraries, but I didn't have it here on the hand. So first sloka, Atta Mangala Charanam, Sri Guru Gaura Gandharva Govindam Gringanashaha Vande Prasada Toyesham Sarvaramba Shubhankara. I make my obeisance unto the lotus feet of my divine master Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Gandharvi Vagiridhari, Sri Radha Krishna, and their associates. By their grace, all endeavors are successful. And Sri Gandharva Giridhari, they are the name of the deities of Navadvip, of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. They were the personal Thakurji of Srila Srila Maharaj. Gauravak Vigraham Vande Gaurangam Gauravaibavam Gaura Sankirtano Matam Gaura Karunya Sundaram. I make my obeisance unto the deity Gaura Saraswati, the personified message of the Golden Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose bodily luster is of a beautiful golden hue, like that of the self-same Lord Gaurachandra, who is a personal expansion of that Supreme Lord Gaurahari, who is always intoxicated by the preaching, the message of that Golden Lord, and whose divine beauty blooms in the revelation of Lord Gauranga's mercy potency. In parenthesis, this is the fundamental meaning of this verse. Within the scope of the Sanskrit language, various expanded purports may be drawn from the original. Gauravak Vigraham Vande, Gaura Saraswati. The personified message of the Supreme Lord, the bodily luster of the beautiful Golden Lord, the personal expansion of the Supreme Lord, who is always intoxicated preaching the message. So in a way, I give my personal interpretation. We are in the months of December, the months of book distribution. We had the very lucky association of Guru Tama this morning, who is one of Prabhupada's top book distributors. He went 20 years out in the airports distributing millions of Bhagavatams, and very fired up devotee. He gave class in Vindakunja this morning. So this Guru Tama, he remembered us so much of the
What is his name?
Guru Tama.
Guru Tama.
And you will meet him. He's staying in Gopinath Bhavan. So, yes, preaching Mahaprabhu, this is how we got it. We got the energy from Prabhupada, preach. We got the energy from Srila Maharaj, preach. Do it. Go and get it. It's very interesting. Some people have a little doubt about opening temples because it is such a headache to open a temple and to manage a temple. But what did Srila Maharaj do in his old age? He opened many temples. And when Prabhupada's disciples joined with him, he opened many more temples. Before, he had Hapania, he had a temple in Calcutta, he had the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. Later, he opened Puri Math. Later, he opened Vrindavan Math. And of course, then with his disciples, he opened many other maths, also England, also Malaysia, also through our presence, he had temples in South America. But he was definitely, but more surprising than that was Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, because he started his mission at the age of 90. Why?
9.
Because there were devotees who wanted to be his disciples. And in the Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, only one guru can be at the time. That has been the will of Bhaktidaita Maharaj. He didn't want his mission to be divided. He wanted to be one mission, and from there many other missions can come. But his mission, he wanted to be under one Acharya, who is now Bhakti Vichar Vishnu Maharaj. And so Puri Maharaj had people who wanted to be his disciples, because Puri Maharaj helped Bhaktidaita Maharaj 40 years or something like that. So then he had to go out from the Chaitanya Saraswati Math, Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, and start the Gopinath Gaudiya Math at the age of 90. That's when I met with him. And I was there from the very beginning. And
In which year it was?
I forget, I'm not good with numbers. But it was after 88. Srila Maharaj left 88, so it must be 89, 90, like that. So he opened many temples as well. In the age from 90 to 102 years, he opened many temples. Which of them? We are now celebrating the Vrindavan Math, then the Puri Math, very big, and many other maths in the world. So, if such old gentlemen, Vaishnavas, they can still get entangled with all this management, and I know it's entangling. I know that. It's like we are so entangled just to make a little store outside here, just to get something going in our entrance. Already that is for us some kind of a pain. But we'll do it. By the grace of Krishna, we will have something going on. So it's right here in the second verse. He was intoxicated by preaching the message of the Golden Lord. You can get intoxicated. You don't need any other intoxication. You can get intoxicated by the preaching, by caring. Really, preaching means caring. We don't know who's going to come next. Yesterday, we had 6 bikers coming from Delhi. And somehow or other they heard about us. They came here and we spoke to them. Then they wrote in the night, there were 2 Muslims, 1 Christian, 1 Hindu, and 1 Parsi.
Oh.
They were 5 bikers. And then the night they wrote me, oh, we were so happy. Yamuna Kunja received us with so much love. That was really the high point of our Vrindavan visit. So you don't know who you meet here. You're in the heart of Vrindavan. But you have to be there. If you're not there, you cannot preach. So, next. Guru Rupa Harim Goram Radha Ruchi Uchavritam Nityam Naumi Navatvipe Namakirtana Nartanai. Now you have to think that this book was studied by Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada again and again and again and again. He kept this visa in Jhansi, in Vrindavan, everywhere. That was his lifeline of studying. I mean, he had many other books, but this book was always at his hand. So perpetually do I sing the glories of Lord Gauranga, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Hari, embraced by the heart and halo of Sri Radhika, and who has descended as the Divine Master. In this holy abode of Sri Navadvip Dham, he is absorbed in the pastimes of profusely chanting the holy names, dancing in ecstasy, as with verse 2 expanded purports may be drawn from this verse. Now, with all due respect, with all due attempt to not be sectarian, because we belonging to a school which basically is non-sectarian. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, anybody which approaches the Lord has made himself easily available by millions of names. So he made that clear. And he emphasized it. When he spoke to Chandkasi, he said, you're worshipping the same Lord. Allah is also Supreme Lord. Mahaprabhu was not sectarian. Nevertheless, after I read these verses, and I must say that Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the key personality of our entire Sampradaya, of our entire Bharata Mata. Now, if you tell that to somebody like a Mayavadi, they will not agree. They don't know that yet. Even though Gauranga Mahaprabhu's glories is gradually spreading by ISKCON, Gaudiya Math, and so many others, it is gradually spreading, but even here in Vrindavan, you find many people, they think, Hit Harivansh, or they would sing the Vyasa, is Hari Das, or this Swami or that Swami, or contemporary Swami, or the Swami Narayan, or the Goswamis from Vrindavan. They will think so many people are important, but they will not give the full importance to the Yuga avatar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But here you can see Srila Sridharaj and this Prapana Jivanamrita is given a full emphasis. It is Gauranga Mahaprabhu who is the Yuga Avatar, who teaches the Yuga Dharma. Harinama, 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 Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gati Anyata. So, how important is that? Yes, we are not sectarian, but we want to share the love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with you. How do we do that? By becoming so loving devotees that you will be attracted to find out more about it. How did Prabhupada catch us? By his kindness. How did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur expanded his movement? By his vision, his kindness. How did Bhaktivinoda Thakur preach? Everything. So this is a new movement within the Sanatan Dharma. It is a new movement. But it has been announced in the Bhagavatam that I will appear in the age of Kali as a devotee. And I will spread the chanting of the holy name. What is the Sanskrit shloka of that? My memory, please. Kalaudish Astiga Ekamangunada Kirtanat Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. There's few shlokas who announce that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord, will appear in this world, and He will free us, He will liberate us from all our misgivings, from all our difficulties. He will give us His grace, the grace of the Lord, my God. So, I'm so happy to get this book today. We will read this book here whenever we have nothing special to discuss on our Vrindavan Seva. We will continue read through this book here. That will be there for the next months. Then, Srimad Prabhu Padam Boja Madhu Pepyo Namo Namaha Tripyantu Kripaya Tetra Prapana Jivanamrita. Again and again I make my obeisance unto the eternal personal servitor of my divine master, who drank the nectar of his lotus feet. I pray that they may be graciously pleased in tasting this life nectar of the surrendered souls. Atma Vigyapti Ati Avanchina Rupopi Prachinanam Susamatam Shlokam Katipayam Atra Chaharami Shatamude. A humble petition, despite my disqualification, for the satisfaction of the pure devotees, I have compiled in this book an anthology of stanzas that are well established by our predecessors. So this must be a shloka written by Sri Damaj himself. And then he quotes, a very important, Tatvak Vishargo Janatago Viplavo Yasmim Prati Shlokam Abad Vyati Api. That same shloka Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada put in the beginning of his Srimad Bhagavatam. Since you listen what it says, there's Namami Anantasya Yashoni Kitani Yat Srinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Shadava. Even if every stanza is imperfectly composed, that is unlucidly expressed, the sins of the people are totally vanquished by those expressions or books in which the glorious holy names of the infinite Supreme Lord are described. Since the pure devotees hear those holy names from a qualified preacher, they solitarily sing those holy names, even in the absence of others, and they chant the unending glories of those holy names in the presence of a deserving listener. Wow. This is such a powerful verse. Because what it says here, I cannot present it perfectly. Because I'm too imperfect. How am I going to present it perfectly? That is unlucidly expressed. means even I'm not very enlightened, but I'm expressing it. The sins of the people are totally vanquished by those expressions or books in which the glorious holy names of the infinite Supreme Lord are described. Now this is a very interesting point, and many people will not agree what I say now. Prabhupada made many English not so perfect expressions in his books, both because of him or his editor. Some things escaped in perfect English. Doesn't matter. Then some people, they wanted to correct those. In ISKCON, they have a new version of all the old books.
Yes.
And many people criticize it. How do you dare to change Srila Prabhupada's books? I agree with them. Nevertheless, what they have done is also imperfectly corrected, but still it carries the value. It still has the potency of Prabhupada and Krishna, even if they imperfectly corrected it. That is my personal appreciation. Of course, I also prefer, because I'm a disciple of Prabhupada, I personally prefer Prabhupada's original version. But because also my English is not so good, so it is like that. This verse fixes it.
No, the thing is
fixes it all.
If we carry on with the imperfect English, then educated people may think they are very poor in language. So it's better to correct it. I prefer correction always.
That is your opinion. Many other people have other opinion.
Yes.
Because of the originality. If you correct Shakespeare to the modern English, it will be a different book and it will not be Shakespeare anymore, even though the story may be the same. So, to a certain point, originality has a value. I also appreciate your point. That's why I say everything is fixed by this verse. Imperfectly composed or imperfectly corrected. If it is meant for glorifying the Supreme Lord, since the pure devotees hear those holy names from a qualified preacher, they solitarily sing those holy names, even in the absence of others. Means even if you have no company, you study them by yourself, you still get the benefit, and they chant the unending glories of those holy names. It means like, by hook and by crook, distribute these books and have them edited have them presented as good as possible. I mean, Prabhupada's books were edited already. As far as what you are saying, people will think they are not from such an educated base. That is not even possible. You know why? Because the language is changing. So whoever reads Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur today, he will feel this is awkward English. But that was the British Indian English of his time. So he could only, if you change his now into modern English, that wasn't what he has said. So you're losing the contact with that originality. Can you bring between the two books, the two book piles, there's one book in the middle, like a little thing with Radharani on the top. Bring that to me. So it's a very important subject. Then, so that by the time things change, even Prabhupada's English, it was still Indian English of his time. So that also has, in a sense, has to be preserved to keep the originality. And those people are nowadays talking, they have a very strange modern language because so many strange new words have been introduced in the world today. I give you an example. A young man came to me. I was walking in the park in Berlin, and he said, "Hey, you are so fucking nice." You know, that's a dirty word, fucking, no?
अच्छा.
Huh? It means sex life,
Oh,
fucking.
अच्छा.
Huh? Oh, you're so fucking nice. And I was like about to turn away from him because I was a gross guy. But in the sound of his voice, I could hear that there was appreciation. So I looked at him, I spoke to him, he became a very good friend of the devotees because he actually appreciated the devotees. And that was the way he was saying. Now, I don't want to write that in a book. Hey, you're so fucking nice, you know. But if I would not have been flexible at that point, I would have turned away somebody who was actually appreciating the Vaishnavas. So language changes so much. Now, here comes another thing. Srila Prabhupada, he invents language. Actually, Srila Prabhupada, he created a new English. And that new English is about the English of theistic thinking. He termed, you could say he coined certain phrases and certain expressions which previously to him